Okay. Hello everyone. This is your faculty for paper number 10, company audit for CMA audit. As you all are aware of the fact that this portion is going to come in your examination for 50 marks, right? So content is very small and marks are so many, right? So it is going to come along with your accountancy paper. So you have to understand one fact very carefully कि I'm going to stress upon your strategy relating to auditing paper, right? See, it is not that vast examination, it is not that vast like concepts are there. Only the few concepts you need to concentrate upon that, and I will tell you the whole sequence and in which areas you need to concentrate more and in which areas you need to concentrate less. But humble request to all of you, don't do the selective study. Make sure that you are completing all the topics at one side. Now, coming to the topic number one, everyone, auditing concepts, very important chapter because here you will understand the meaning of the word called what audit. And you all know that there are some basic principles governing an audit, which is also known as ethical requirements, integrity, objectivity, independence. Along with that, the advantages and inherent limitations. The scope of this chapter coming into your exam is 4 to 6 marks. Reason being very simple, straightaway questions will come. It can come in the form of advantages, it can come in the form of limitations. But I will tell you, major stress you should keep it on significance wala question plus limitation wala question plus advantages wala questions, right or not? And of course, before leaving and going to the next chapter ahead, you should go for the two differences between accounting and auditing and investigation. That is what you all should do, because I think it's better to start with this chapter because it is very easy and scoring chapter. Coming back to the next chapter, highly important, it deserves 10 to 12 marks in your examination, right? The beauty of this chapter is that as it is same chapter, you are going to find it in your CMA final cost and management audit subject as well. Starting from section number 138 to 147, I will say, because 148 we are going to cover in the next chapter. 138 to 147 में you will come to know everything about the person called what? Auditor. Make sure that the important sections which you need to concentrate. वैसे तो all the sections are important, but the most important section is 141, which talks about qualification and disqualification. And the second most important chapter is 143 here, right or not? Because 143 is quite lengthy and 141 is also lengthy, and majority of the questions will be made from this part, right? So company audit में basically everything about you have to write. And very important thing, don't write the answers with context of practicing CMA here, because the whole chapter is based upon what? Practicing CA. That is the biggest mistake you can do in the examination, because you should be aware of the fact that ki section 138 to 147, 138 can talk about both CA and CMA. So I would say, to be specific, 139 to 147 talks about practicing CA only. By mistake also, don't use the word called practicing CMA, only and only dedicated to statutory audits, right? Now the question arises, are where we are going to learn about ourselves. You have the next chapter, which is called cost audit and secretarial audit. In the cost audit and secretarial audit, obviously cost audit section number 148 and secretarial audit section number 204. This is a place where you need to concentrate. 148 chapter is 148 section is highly important. Major areas to be covered here is cost audit and cost records. As you all know that sector based division is there, number of records are there, 3 are regulated sector and 6 are what? Remaining 33, 6 are regulated sector and 33 are what? Non-regulated sector. Concentrate on that and be very much sure about the limits which are being taken in the topic called what? Cost audit. Coming to the secretarial audit, very simple chapter. Only one topic is there. One is you have to remember the form number, that is called MR3, which is a secretarial audit report. One small amendment relating to LODR, where you have to give the secretarial compliance report to be attached with what? Secretarial audit report to be filed with the recognized stock exchange within 60 days. एक वो वाला point याद करना. Plus limits वाला point, it is applicable on listed company and unlisted company according to their limits. Be specific about greater than equals to, less than equals to, greater than and less than, because that will literally impact your what? Your answer. Coming to the next chapter, audit process में you should do, see it's a very layman chapter. Audit process में इतना, there is no that many topics which you can do. Audit process में simple topics हैं. What do you mean by audit procedures? What do you mean by audit techniques? Concentrate on RAPs and FAPs, risk assessment procedures and further assessment procedures topic. And that is the only topic which has a capacity to come in your examination directly. Coming to the next chapter, that is called audit sampling. Sampling, you all know that you have to cover SA 530 in that. So standards on auditing 530 is going to talk about the audit sampling, and make sure that in the audit sampling, you should cover its extent, how we make a sample design, what should be our sample size, what are the factors you need to keep it in mind when you select a sample. Coming to the second brother of this chapter, this is called SA 520, which is known as Analytical Procedure. Analytical procedure is basically a topic where you will end up knowing the fact that it is not always correct to say to do the hard work. Sometimes you can compensate your hard work with what? Smart work. So there are some techniques which have been talked in this topic, that is called ratio analysis technique, trend analysis technique, reasonableness test, and what? Some other techniques like structural modeling. These are the various techniques you should focus upon. I would to say that the whole portion should be covered, but these are the major important topics which I'm telling you from every chapter. Coming to the next chapter, the name of the chapter is known as Audit Risk and Internal Controls. Audit risk, highly important, and make sure that whatever is written in SA 315, as I made you write the notes in the class, you should do each and every word properly. Audit risk means there is nothing you can leave. Second thing is known as internal controls. Internal controls mein I would say that better you do techniques of internal controls and evaluation of internal controls. These two topics are highly important. और इसके साथ साथ there are some few topics in internal controls which you need to take care of. Audit risk, I would say mandatorily you have to do. Then there comes the next chapter, application of technology in auditing. This chapter tells us that how we do the auditing in automated environment. As we know that accounting is getting automated, so therefore we have to understand that auditing has to be what? Automated. So it's basically a chapter of integration between information technology and auditing, right? How like softwares we can use in doing the audit, how we can reduce our workload by making the use of CART techniques. CART stands for Computer Assisted Audit Techniques. So this is the topic you need to do in this part. Coming to the audit trial is a very new amendment coming from 1/4/2023. This amendment has been entered. Basically, what do you mean by audit trial? Audit trial is basically identifying the footprints, digital footprints. Like say for example, there is a thief who has done a theft and leaving on a sand. So he will leave some footprints by which we can catch the thief. Same thing we can do it in audit trial. These are known as digital footprints. Say for example, suppose your accounting software is there and this accounting software is very secured, but someone who took the unauthorized access entered into your accounting system and he deleted some what? Entries out of it. Now the question arises, auditor comes when the year gets over. So how we will come to know that who has made the unauthorized changes, who has made the unauthorized deletions and everything? There comes the meaning of this topic called what? Audit trial. Audit trial helps you in understanding who did what and when with log files. You will automatically understand, as we had a detailed discussion on this chapter when we were talking about our portion, right? Coming to the next chapter, very important because it contains the CARO 2020. Make sure that all the 21 clauses 1 to 21, 21 to 1, we have done a lot of hard work on this topic. Not even a single topic is escapable from CARO 2020. I would say that follow the same format only. Go it in the same flow. Audit report and CARO 2020 you can do after company audit and secretarial audit. But if you are not okay with the process, you can follow the same process. Now CARO 2020 के साथ very important topic, essential features of a good audit report, one topic. Second thing, types of opinion, very important, where we learned that there are 4 types of opinion. qualified, adverse, disclaimer, and clean opinion that you need to do. And another very important topic, the difference between the audit report and what? Audit certificate. Highly recommended topics. These are the only things you have to do. Rest chapter will be over. And there comes the major part. Last 3 chapters itself are going to come for 60 marks in your examination. Let me tell you how. Audit of different entities means what? Here you have audit of cinema hall, you have audit of hospital, you have audit of hotels, you have audit of NGO, you have audit of municipality. Now, looking at these topics, when you will open this chapter will look like a very huge chapter to you. But I'll tell you how to reduce the burden of your chapters. Listen to this very carefully. In this chapter, if you want to survive, if you remember, we did 4 box technique in our examination. 4 incomes, 4 expenditures, 4 assets, and 4 liabilities. This is the technique you have to follow. जैसे सिनेमा हॉल है, we have to think about the 4 incomes of cinema hall, 4 expenditures of cinema hall, 4 assets of cinema hall, and 4 liabilities. To means 16 points you are already ready. I hope you are understanding what I'm talking about. We in detail we discussed that in the class, to make sure that you should go by this same formula and your whole different entities topic will be over within a 1 hour or within 1.5 hours. Second thing is bank audit. Bank audit means definitely you should focus on NPA, non-performing asset audit. Obviously you should focus on audit of deposits. You should focus on audit of advances, and you should focus upon audit reports of the bank. These are the highly important topics. Any one of that area can definitely come in your subject called what? Audit of banks, right? Now, cooperative society audit may you just do one thing. General considerations of audit may just go for the limits. Only the limits you should concentrate. But the special audit part may you have to understand that one part was there, special audit report. There was another part called overdue debts. Limits of that you must take into consideration, right? And how the cooperative society ka audit report also looks like. See, always remember, whenever these chapters will come, they will definitely try you to focus upon the audit report of these chapters, right? So this will be as per our technique. This I told you the 4-5 areas, and cooperative society also I told you. Now coming back to this chapter, the most fearing chapter, because you will find 40-50 topics over there. But you need not worry about this. First of all, to read the name of the chapter, audit of financial items, not financial statements. If it is financial statement, it means we are talking about a normal audit. Now we are talking about the audit of only and only what? Items. Items means they may ask you how to do the audit of sales. They may ask you how to do the audit of what? Purchase. They may ask you how to do the audit of what? Plant and machinery. Item wise they will ask you, they will not ask you the full financial statement. And you already know our technique. The technique name was assertion based technique. What was the technique name? Assertion based. So I already focused more than 16 to 17 topics during our classes. Obviously all 50-60 you can't read and you can't retain. It's better to focus on 16 to 17 topics which we had discussed in the class, and make sure that do only those topics. Remaining automatically will come. So that is how you can end this chapter, audit of financial items. Looking a very huge chapter, but very simple chapter. And this is not a chapter actually, it is a part of our chapter number 1 only, but we have kept it separately. That is called audit of what? Types of audits is a part of audit concepts. Kya types of audit? Statutory audit, non-statutory audit, internal audit, external audit, partial audit, detailed audit, summary audit, this audit, that audit. So small topics are given. Just make sure that you just go through it. Very irrelevant topic. You can automatically answer even if it is coming in the examination. So this was all the sequence you should know. Now, coming back to your presentation skills. Which skills? Presentation skills. Remember, if they are giving you the case law based question, your answer should be divided into 3 paras. First, write the provision of the audit which we have learned, what the audit is saying. Then talk about facts of the case, what the question is saying, and then talks about your what? Conclusion, what you want to say. So what the law is saying, what facts of the question are saying, and what you want to say. Your answer should be based like that. Never write the conclusion in the beginning. You will not get the good marks. Second, When it comes to MCQs, be very careful. You will be asked to choose the most appropriate answer. Sometimes the 2-3 answers will look very similar. You should have a good reading skills to understand the topics, which one is the appropriate answer. Coming back to comment based question, try to write your answer in the bullet points instead of writing in paragraphs. Are you getting the point? Because if we'll write in the answers in the paragraphs, that will not fetch you any good marks. Only the bullet points are going to fetch you the better marks. Is it clear? And rest remaining, other things, they may come correct, incorrect. And yes, when it comes to correct, incorrect questions, make sure that first write the heading whether the statement is correct or incorrect. And then after that, definitely leave a what? Reason why it is correct and why it is what? Incorrect. Then only you will fetch how many marks? 2 marks. Are you getting the point? So 12 marks of approximately 15 marks of MCQs will come, right? And like including MCQs, including correct, incorrect, and this part, and remaining part will be remaining 35 marks will be what? Subjective paper. 35 marks will be the subjective paper, and this is how you have to present your answer. Okay? So that's it for my side, and you know that in case there is any difficulty, we already have a group, so you can ask your query in the group. Definitely we would like to solve your queries, and all the best for your examination. May hope that you do well in your examination. In case there is any particular requirement or particular area you are looking for, do convey it to the management so that I can help you out by making just like this a small video. I will again come back with another video on law paper where I will tell you what techniques and what areas you need to cover first and later in the law subject. But see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. All the best. See you guys.